Imagine a bustling airport preparing for New Year's Eve. Among the excitement, a horrific accident happens. Courtney Edwards, a dedicated ground crew member, is tragically sucked into an aircraft engine. This accident shook the aviation community and raised crucial questions about safety protocols. On December 31, 2022, at 9:05 p.m., Courtney was working diligently. A moment of negligence changed everything. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, initiated an exhaustive investigation. Their aim? To uncover what went wrong and ensure it never happens again. First, let's address the critical environment. Ground crew work around powerful engines. They play essential roles in ensuring a safe travel experience. However, the dangers are real. In this case, Courtney was standing too close to a running engine. Next, we look at the engine in question. The Boeing 737's engine operates at incredibly high speeds. It creates a powerful suction effect. Ground crew must understand the safe distances when working near these machines. After assessing the site, the NTSB considered several factors. They reviewed air traffic control procedures. Did the crew receive proper training? Was the area secured for ground personnel? The report revealed gaps that need urgent attention. Now let's illustrate this with a relatable scenario. Imagine a leaf blower. Standing too close can pull items towards it. Now imagine that force multiplied by thousands of pounds of jet thrust. The consequences are devastating. The NTSB emphasized urgent recommendations. More comprehensive training for ground crews is needed. Enhanced communication protocols among flight crews and ground staff must be established. These changes can protect lives. Summarizing, the accident involving Courtney Edwards is a somber reminder. Life in aviation includes inherent risks. Awareness, training, and communication are vital to ensure safety. If you're concerned about aviation safety, stay informed. Follow the NTSB's updates on their recommendations. Knowledge empowers us to advocate for safer practices. Together, we can honor Courtney's memory by supporting change. Help raise awareness about ground crew safety. Share this video and join discussions about improving safety protocols in aviation. On that fateful night, as the clock inched closer to midnight, the bustling airport was filled with anticipation and joy. Amidst the cheerful travelers, Courtney performed her duties with a dedication that exemplified the commitment of ground crew members everywhere. Never did she imagine that a moment of negligence could lead to irreversible consequences. The air was thick with excitement, laughter, and the occasional announcement crackling overhead, as passengers eagerly prepared for their celebrations. Courtney, focused on her tasks, meticulously checked the cargo doors of the aircraft that stood ready for departure. She exchanged smiles with fellow crew members, each member playing a critical role in the orchestration of the evening's flights. Little did they know, the very machinery designed to ensure their safety could become a foe with one misstep. As Courtney moved closer to the aircraft, her instincts drove her to ensure everything was perfect for the impending takeoff. However, amid the chaos and the celebrations of New Year's Eve, an audible vacuum formed, a reminder of the engine's immense power. It was then that her commitment clashed with the reality of the environment she worked in. Suddenly, a shadow moved, and the unthinkable happened. She found herself in the engine's perilous grasp. The deafening roar of the engine consumed everything around, drowning out the jubilant sounds of celebration. Instantly, chaos erupted as co-workers rushed towards the scene, their shouts blending with the mechanical growl of the aircraft. A cold grip of fear tightened around the hearts of those who had just shared in the excitement of the evening, the festive spirit shattered by a tragic reality. Emergency protocols kicked into gear, and within moments, sirens blared as first responders rushed to the site, their urgency palpable. In the aftermath, confusion and sorrow permeated the atmosphere, as questions about safety regulations and training echoed through the minds of onlookers and aviation professionals alike. It was a stark reminder that safety should never be an afterthought, particularly in such a high-stakes environment. As the night wore on, the weight of the tragedy settled heavily, marking a new year that would be remembered for all the wrong reasons. The world of aviation relies heavily on every individual's understanding of safety protocols, particularly on such pivotal nights as New Year's Eve. From this horrific accident, the shocking reality of the risks faced by ground crew members has emerged, highlighting the need for enhanced training and vigilance. It serves as a call to action for everyone in the industry to prioritize continuous education and improvement, ensuring that no one else suffers such a fate. The time for change is now, as the lives of dedicated individuals depend on it. In memory of Courtney Edwards, let us commit to fostering a culture of safety and awareness in aviation. By advocating for improved training and communication, we can prevent future tragedies and honor her legacy. Together, we pave the way for a safer journey for all those involved in air travel. The immediate aftermath was a blur of frantic motion, as crew members sought to comprehend the severity of the situation. Their faces bore the hallmarks of disbelief, horror etched in every expression. They quickly gathered around, desperately attempting to re-establish order amidst the chaos. Medical personnel arrived with adrenaline-fueled urgency, their specialized skills crucial in such an emergency. As bystanders whispered in shock, the air thickened with an unspoken understanding, the dangers faced by ground crew members were real and present. The overwhelming sound of sirens was pierced only by shouts for calm, echoing through the terminal and blending with the cries of distress. The NTSB investigation commenced almost immediately, their team assessing the chaotic scene as they gathered evidence, gravely aware of the ramifications. Led by Chief Investigator Tom Hargrove, experts examined the aircraft and its surroundings, documenting every detail meticulously. Hargrove's seasoned eyes paused on the engine's warning label, a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in aviation. "We need to understand how this could happen," he asserted firmly, rallying his team. "Every detail matters, from training protocols to operational procedures." His voice was steady but carried an implicit urgency, as if every word bore the weight of Courtney's legacy. Meanwhile, flight crews across the country were reminded of their critical responsibilities as ground crew members faced this unprecedented tragedy. Conversations sparked in lounges and break rooms, all underscored by the same questions: what could have prevented this? Lives depended on answers. As the investigation progressed, more details began to surface, revealing a picture that was as complex as it was troubling. The NTSB team reviewed security footage from the airport, analyzing the moments leading up to the accident. Each video frame illustrated the relentless pace of operations during peak hours, where distractions were as commonplace as the voices ringing out over the intercom. "Look here," one investigator pointed out, pausing the video. "You can see Courtney interacting with another crew member just seconds before the incident. The hustle, it's overwhelming." The findings underscored how underappreciated and vulnerable ground crews truly were, often becoming entangled in a web of urgency powered by the need for speed in the aviation industry. There was a growing realization that procedural improvements were not just beneficial but essential for the welfare of every worker. As the gravity of the situation settled in, the team convened to discuss potential solutions that would address not only accountability but also systematic changes in operations. Plans to implement stricter safety measures, establish better protocols for crew awareness, and prioritized training were discussed with determined resolve. The team initiated a thorough review of training modules, focusing not just on the mechanics of operation but on fostering a culture of safety awareness. They recognized that knowledge must extend beyond technical skills to encompass situational awareness, an understanding that could mean the difference between safety and tragedy. "We have to transform the way we educate our teams," Hargrove emphasized during a heated discussion. Ground crew members need to grasp not only how to perform their duties but the critical importance of their environment. Each member nodded, invigorated by a shared mission to honor Courtney's memory through meaningful change. The weight of responsibility they bore for future safety was palpable. As they strived for protective mechanisms in their strategies, the atmosphere brimmed with hope that such an accident would never recur. The air was thick with determination. Unity forged in the wake of sorrow held the promise of a renewed commitment to safety in aviation. "We owe it to Courtney and every other ground crew member," one investigator remarked, punctuating their resolve to reshape the industry's approach to safety protocols. Inspired, they worked tirelessly, recognizing that it was their collective duty to ensure that every voice advocating for safety was heard and acted upon, solidifying a legacy that transcended loss. Each participant in the discussion understood that the time for complacency had long passed. Immediate actions needed to be taken. As the meeting progressed, strategies to engage all stakeholders were formulated, underscoring the importance of collective responsibility. Engaging with airline executives, training providers, and governmental bodies was imperative to create a comprehensive safety framework. The NTSB team was committed to advocating for widespread dissemination of findings and recommendations, ensuring that every level of the aviation industry was informed and equipped to handle such risks. "This isn't just about a single incident," Hargrove explained, his voice steady. "It's about reshaping the culture of safety. Awareness must flow through every layer of operation." The depth of this commitment resonated with all present, as they recognized not just the enormity of the task ahead but the lives that depended on their efforts. In unity, they forged a vision of an aviation industry where tragedies like Courtney's never occurred again, turning sorrow into a catalyst for change. In the days that followed, the aviation community began to reassess its priorities and values, carefully examining operational procedures through a new lens. Ground crews found themselves at the forefront of discussions, advocating for safety measures that spoke to their unique challenges. As advocates for change, they voiced the necessity for regular safety drills and awareness campaigns that would keep risks at the forefront of everyone's minds. Engaging stories of Courtney's dedication circulated, reminding all of the commitment shared by those who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, often in perilous conditions. It became clear that unity across the aviation sector was essential, as industry leaders acknowledged the need to support ground personnel actively. As this collective resolve gained momentum, hope blossomed for a safer tomorrow, built on lessons learned from the past. As discussions erupted across the industry, a renewed sense of urgency permeated the dialogue. The collective grief for Courtney transformed into a rallying cry for meaningful reform. Voices that once felt unheard now carried the weight of a community seeking change. Airlines began to explore ways to enhance their training programs, prioritizing hands-on simulations that mirrored potential real-world scenarios. "We owe it to our teams," a leading safety officer stated passionately during a conference, "to ensure they leave work as safe as they came." Such sentiments echoed through meetings and workshops, where employees felt empowered to share their experiences and recommend improvements. There was a palpable shift in the atmosphere, as everyone recognized that the safety of ground crews was not just a protocol, it was a reflection of the respect and care they deserved as integral members of the aviation family. The whole industry began to embrace the momentum for change, gathering for safety summits where ground crew testimonies created a poignant atmosphere. In memory of Courtney Edwards, let us honor her legacy by committing to a culture of safety within aviation. Through greater awareness, comprehensive training, and an unwavering dedication to communication, we can prevent future tragedies and ensure that all ground crew members remain safe, reminding us that every